Oh boy. Project 64.999.
Honestly, my biggest complaint outright is that this didn't have to be a Mega Man pasta. You could have applied the same logic with this story to literally any game.
And it kind of does in a way.
Because, like, it mentions that there are other games that had the corrupted sequel, prequel, spin-off thing that they were talking about. But it's like, I feel like the only reason that it had Mega Man in it was because the author was a fan of Mega Man and didn't know any other way to make a unique Mega Man creepypasta. Which, I mean,
that's still a valid thing to do.
Indeed. I mean, looking at when this was posted on Reddit, this was posted in, like, 2020, so this is a recent pasta.
I wouldn't say it as much as a critique and more of a, hey, this is an opportunity.
I suppose it's just the only reason that I find that as a critique is because when I started, like, gathering up these pastas, it was meant to be a thing of these are specifically Mega Man creepypastas. And that's actually user error in this regard. I should have done a read before I put it in the itinerary. Yeah. So that's bad on my end.
It wasn't very Mega Man. I didn't hate the overall of it, though. No. I think the only thing that really bothered me with it is there are certain points in it when you're reading where it just kind of, like, it's going good, it's at a decent pace, and then just the wording, what?
I sincerely wonder if this author's first language is English, because...
if it's not, it's understandable, but...
Because there's so many times when there are words that seem like they mean something, or they mean to use a different word that sounds similar. So, I don't really know what language this was written in originally.
Yeah, I mean, there's no judgment, it's just like,
It just makes the reading experience a little bit clunky. Yeah. And I do kind of agree. I will admit that it did invoke some of the more out there pastas of old, where the player is suddenly in the game, and suddenly it's Ready Player One, you die in the game, you die in the real world. Which, I mean, that's all well and good. It's fine, it's a fictional story, not meant to be taken too seriously, and I'd love to play a game like that, except for the super hacks corrupted Mega Man who just, you know, the whole meme teleports behind you. Yo, omae wa mo shinderu.
The main thing I would have really liked to see out of it would have just been like more on what the actual gameplay was like inside the game, if that makes any sense.
I felt like we were supposed to draw our own conclusions because he mentions that there's robotic enemies and it's like long dark corridor. I imagine it's meant to be like a POV Mega Man Legends style game. He does.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying it's like hearing more on it.
Right, and the narrator says that they mention their weapon twice. They say that they have a ray, which I'm going to guess means like a laser blast, and then they mention getting their arm ripped off so they can't shoot lightning anymore. But prior to that, we weren't told of any weapons that they have.
Definitely just seems like a lot of potential to be used. I'd actually like to see more of it explored.
Yeah, if we could get like a cleaned up version of this, like add in a little more detail where it's needed, and again, work on some of the sentence structure and fix a lot of the run-on sentences, then it would be a more interesting read. And honestly, this is one that I actually think...
This one has a lot of potential.
This is one I think would make a decent fan film adaptation.
Yo, yeah?
Right? The only thing that I would change in that regard, though, is how the players got sucked into the game instead of just press start. Suddenly they pass out. Maybe if it was like Project 64, but it was VR compatible. Like, you know, hacked Oculus Rift or through some
dope too,
some like Steam VR mod to where you put N64 emulators in it. Something, you know, sketchy, shady like that. Instead of it just being, it's just a modified N64, Project 64 emulator. But again, that's just like, that's nitpicking at this point. I thought the content was pretty decent. The only real complaint I had as far as the content itself was just the whole repeated bit of corrupt Mega Man just owns you after you get him down to 1 HP. Again, it's giving me kind of like Sonic.exe vibes to where it's like no matter what you do, you're screwed.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of creepypasta in a nutshell.
Indeed. Like you don't go into gaming creepypastas expecting the player to actually come out of this unscathed. You rarely do that.
The fact that there was only one body to be unaccounted for.
Right. At least the player got their arm back when they were back in the real world, I think.
I don't think it said that.
No, they didn't. But
oh well.
We don't know. The ending kind of confused me because he's talking about he had like a bullet in his stomach or something.
Yeah, I think he may have accidentally shot himself.
Like in his dazed and disoriented state because...
Yeah, I mean, he could have shot at something because with it being a rifle, ricocheting
is a lot more common than handguns.
Yeah, it's not unheard of, so I can definitely see it.
Yeah, so again, I thought that it had a decent framework, and like with so many of these others, just needs a cleanup with the rewrite.
Just a bit of polish.
Yeah, just a little bit of polish, a little spit and polish go a long way, and this could actually be a very enjoyable read.